Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 Breaking News.
We have some breaking news tonight out of Ashland. Much of the Rogue Valley is staying home through the snow, and many residents are also faced with power outages tonight. You're taking a live look out at Ashland with our weather cam. Everbridge sending out a memo to Central Ashland residents about a large area without power tonight. Electrical crews are headed to the area to determine the extent of that problem. Right now, there's no estimated time of restoration, but it's not just Ashland impacted by the snowstorm. Look at that. More than 13,000 residents from Cave Junction to Lakeview currently without power tonight. You're looking at the Pacific Power's outage map right now. Major outages affecting Klamath Falls. Crews say they are working to restore outages as quickly as possible, but are also struggling to clear debris before they can begin that work on the power lines. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Haley Gravitt. Most schools in the region also announcing closures for tomorrow as we move towards day 3 of this snow. Schools that have already announced closures include Medford, Ashland, Central Point, Phoenix Talent, Grants Pass, as well as Rogue River, Klamath Falls City Schools, Klamath County Schools, Eagle Point, and Medford Montessori. Three Rivers, Butte Falls, Prospect Charter, and St. Mary's Schools. Also some delayed starts, including Southern Oregon University, College of the Siskiyous, and Pinehurst School District. We have a full list of all of the schools that are closed or delayed. That can be found on our website, KDRV.com. And of course, we're monitoring those school closures for you very closely. Now let's check in on the snowstorm here. We want to turn to Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman for the latest look for us tonight. Matt.
There's good and bad news, Haley. Okay. Yeah, we are seeing still some pretty heavy snow for parts of the region, especially in Mount Shasta over on the east side. But the snow has wrapped up in Medford, also has pushed out of Wairika, hopefully allowing road conditions to improve. We do have some closures in the region, including portions of I-5 going over Siskiyou Summit. You'll hear more about that in a bit. But winter storm warnings still continue east of the Cascades as that band of snowfall works on out. Still going to have some pretty difficult conditions with moderate to heavy snow, reducing visibility and making for snow-covered roads. But although the snow has wrapped up on the west side, we're still going to be running into issues as we head later into tonight. Shower activity offshore is going to start to move on in. So more snow showers. Also tonight, colder temperatures expected. So a lot of the slush out there, and any wet roads will likely freeze. A zoomed in view of the snow, kind of the back edge working right now into the Mount Shasta area. Some good news there. You can see some of those very difficult travel conditions, snow-covered roads, Black Butte Summit, a big backup in Wairika because of that closure for I-5. And then take a look at Siskiyou Summit where it is closed, and the backups in Hilt, and then also down towards Ashland as well. Cascade passes dealing still with snow-covered roads. There are chain requirements in place. Details on those chain requirements on KDRV.com. And then east of the Cascades, very treacherous travel in Klamath Falls and up and down Highway 97 and heading east on Highway 140. Temperatures right now right around freezing for most inland valleys, but we do expect some colder temperatures tonight, getting down into the 20s, and that could also run some issues as far as any wet roads freezing in our west side valleys. So still going to be running into issues, and then also snow shower activity is going to pick up as we head into tomorrow. Maybe even a few thunderstorms on the west side, especially near the coast. That could produce some thunder snow and some heavy snowfall rates up to 1 inch per hour. We're going to time out the snow for you tomorrow, talk about some new winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings that have been issued for Wednesday, and we'll talk about how much snow to expect. Lots to talk about coming up in the full forecast, and we'll do that in just a bit. Haley.
Matt, thank you. Our weather team working very hard to make sure you're in the know. Stay up to date with the latest road conditions and school closures right here on NewsWatch 12. To keep up to date with that latest winter storm coverage for you, download our app from either the Apple Store or Google Play to stay informed with this winter weather. We also have live team coverage tonight with Tim joining us in Ashland and Rocky in Jacksonville. Sam is also joining us from Medford. Tim has been assessing storm damage and road conditions in Ashland today. Joining us near the I-5 just south of the city. Tim, we know a widespread power outage hit Ashland. How are the roads looking for us out there?
Haley, the roads are not looking great. In town, I was talking to some residents earlier. They were starting to get slushy. We've had some pretty consistent, heavy, wet snow, the same type of snow we saw last night. We were seeing from about 11 in the morning today in Ashland. It just slowed down. There are still some light flakes falling that you might be able to see on your screens right now. I'm standing by I-5, which is still facing a closure. You're seeing some movement, but you might hear we're right at the entrance to I-5 off of Siskiyou Boulevard. A lot of these trucks are just exiting and turning back, driving into the city of Ashland, likely trying to find a place to stay for the night. But I-5 still closed for the first 11 miles in Oregon, also a closure north of Wairika to the Oregon border. So we're talking about a little more than 30 miles. But again, back to the city of Ashland itself, a power outage right now for many of the residents in central Ashland. And some of the residents I was talking to earlier are telling me their plan in this storm is to simply wait it out.
Driving down there can be treacherous, and the best thing to do is just stay put, take it easy. Maybe make some soup, hot chocolate, and just chill out, you know.
With a 24% grade downhill into town, David Downey tells me he and his family are staying put at their Ashland home during this historic storm. The wet, heavy snowfall is dangerous, and Downey told me he learned how to prepare for the worst kind of snow after growing up in Medford, Massachusetts.
If there's a hint of inclement weather on the horizon, you go to the store and prepare for the apocalypse. So we have tons, you know, to last through today, but tomorrow I might need to brave a trip downtown.
Still, a lot of Ashland side streets are especially treacherous. It's not just snow either. City crews have been working all day yesterday and today, clearing downed branches and restoring power to residents who lost it. So while residents in Ashland are likely hunkering down for the next couple of days, if they didn't start already yesterday, it seems like it's going to be a pretty similar situation with some of the truckers and travelers on I-5. The road's not great. Obviously, Caltrans and ODOT like to remind drivers in times like these, do not take an alternate route on your GPS if it's rerouting you because of the I-5 closure. They make sure I-5 is clear first, as it's one of the biggest roadways in all of the state and in all of the country. So hunker down, stay safe, and for now, reporting live in Ashland, I'm Tim Quidadamo.
And we know that they're working overtime with this weather. We want to turn over to Rocky joining us from Jacksonville, who was able to do a ride-along with the Jacksonville Fire Department today to see how they're responding in this type of emergency. Rocky.
Well, Haley, when it comes to, a lot of the snow coming into the Rogue Valley, it's really all hands on deck, meaning that those who are normally fighting fires, fighting something a little bit colder, a little bit different. Here, take a look. Pulling out of the station, you'd assume a fire was going on. But in the snow, many of the calls don't have to do with flames.
Down trees, power lines, or like that, they do get weighted down with the weight of the snow. So they'll cause either obstructive hazards to emergencies.
Some people cutting it up right now.
And like many, they say this amount of snow is unprecedented.
And I would say this is the most snow that I've seen.
With the intense snow causing trees to fall, putting them into action when public safety is at risk.
If it's a hazard to the public or someone's safety, and then it's definitely our job, either block the road, cut up the tree and remove it from the street.
Downed power lines and trees falling on them can easily spark a fire. These increased risks and the danger heavy snow brings increases their call volume drastically, doubling or even tripling the workload, so much so that they have to organize accordingly.
We have to start prioritizing and dealing with these emergencies as best we can with the different varying agencies.
When on the way to a call, they face some of the winter challenges we all do. From slick roads to snowy slopes, changing their route and definitely their speed. Safe driving slowing them down on their way to an emergency. This is what is most on their mind.
One of the big differences is how we respond and what it takes to respond to emergencies.
Every second counts in our job, from turning out, driving, getting on scene, making contact with the patient. So time's crucial. So we got to make sure we're prepared for any situation that weather might bring.
Yeah, it's really a lot of hands on deck, making sure that, people are safe if they're going out. I know a lot of people really are trying not to be going out the next couple days. I want to toss it over to Samantha Cadera to tell you a little bit about what's going on in Medford. Sam?
Yeah, well, I am here at North Medford High School, just one of the many, many schools that are closed today and tomorrow across the region. But I want you to take a look at all of this snow on the parking lot. It's so crazy right now, but I've been tracking the roads all day today, and across Medford, roads were becoming full of snow, and it was wet snow, making travel tricky. And through the afternoon, there were temperatures dropping, and those wet roads quickly turned slick. But those dangerous road conditions will continue into tomorrow, maybe even the next day. But we will continue to track this. But I am live reporting from North Medford in this huge parking lot full of snow. But check this out. Ugh. Live in Medford, I'm Samantha Cadera.
And while many of us are dealing with snow, much of Siskiyou County dealing with flooding. Parts of Montague now under flood evacuation warnings. Several roads closed off as they are submerged in water there. The zone currently under evacuation is north of Prather Street and East Webb Street. The Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office says to avoid flooded areas even if they aren't blocked off. And the Jackson County Sheriff's Office issuing a public safety announcement today advising residents to prepare for the next 2 days of inclement weather. You're taking a live look out at South Medford tonight. The Sheriff's Office saying that you should stay home if possible, only leave if absolutely necessary. And Emergency Communications of Southern Oregon said they had over 1,200 calls during the storm yesterday. They're reminding you that 911 is for emergencies only. So here are some numbers to call to help get you information so you don't need to call 911. You can call the non-emergency hotline to get access to police, fire, or medical help.